Oh yeah, so there's lots of stuff happening with stimulus payments, and I want to get you caught up on everything that's happening with the up and coming bill that's happening in Congress right now. They've already passed it in the House, and it's got to go over to the Senate, and then it's got to get voted on. And also some other things I want to get you caught up with the states. Also, this surprise $8,000 payments coming to families for help after Christmas. Some of the other things I want to cover. So there's $300 stimulus checks to be sent out just in time for Christmas, and then you have this cash. The state's proposing $200 under this stimulus plan. But before that, though, there is this giant stimulus bill. It's going to get passed in the Senate, but it has to go back and forth a little bit. They're trying to get some of the things worked out in this bill. It's already been passed in the House of Representatives, so now the Senate has to come through and get it done. Now the Senate only has 50 votes, but they do have enough because of the tiebreaker with Kamala Harris, the vice president. But they only have 50 votes, and they need all 50 votes in order to get this done. Chuck Schumer said that the New Democrat has said that he'd like to get the chamber to pass the so-called Build Back Better plan before Christmas. This is a $2 trillion plan that needs to get passed in the Senate. It's already been passed in the House of Representatives. Now, there is some of the senators that are probably going to get in the way of this. You have Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, also the senator from Arizona, Kristen Sinema. She's from Arizona. They are going to get in the way of this because they think it's just too much money. You have people like Bernie Sanders who just want to write a check for everybody. And it sounds great when you look at these politicians. They want to, Bernie Sanders always talking about, let's help out the American people and let's make sure that everybody's great, and that's good. But the fact is, he doesn't really understand about inflation. He doesn't understand about when you print money and you get it out there, you're destroying the value of the currency, and it's not good for everybody because everybody gets affected by that. But they will try to also. There is a short-term this debt ceiling. They're going to have to do another short-term budget to avoid the debt ceiling in December. So what they'll do is they'll just push it out till, I don't know, January 30th or February 15th or whatever. Just push it out for a couple months. But they have to raise the debt ceiling in order to support the government because the government is always constantly spending money. They have a spending problem right now. They're spending more money than they're bringing in. And when you do that, it's a recipe for disaster. But they'll probably get more checks to everybody. They'll probably get universal basic income checks to those that do qualify for that. Right now, the universal basic income checks are really going out to families. They're going to try to extend that out through the 2020 year. Now, going forward, I think there is going to be some digital currency that's coming out. I think if you see a digital currency coming out, you should probably stick with the one that's probably going to be the most. That was the original one. Stick with that one. If not, pick up maybe some other hard assets, because I think inflation is really going to take off here in the next couple of years, maybe even the next 6 months. But it's really going to get bad the next 6 months, I believe, with inflation going through the roof. And that means we're paying just massively overpaying for prices at grocery stores, gas stations, and all that. So the surprise $8,000 payments coming to people or coming to families this Christmas time. So it looks like this $8,000 payment is going to be something that you have to file with the Treasury. So the people that qualify for this are going to be people that have families, and obviously if you have families and you have daycare and you have children that you have to qualify for, or you have to take care of, they're going to give you basically around $8,000. I think upwards of $6,000 for this, but you have to file the right paperwork with the Treasury. I think it's form 2441 with the Treasury, and when you fill that out, you'll be able to pick up that $8,000 payment. But this is going to be for people that do care for children and that care for a dependent. I don't think you have to have children on your own. I think if you do care for a dependent, that you'll be eligible for this extra $8,000 payment. Some of the cities are actually sending out stimulus checks, and this is a city in California, Santa Ana, California. They're giving out Visa debit cards. I think there's going to be close to 120,000 households in that city are going to be getting a $300 stimulus Visa debit cards. I'm not sure how they're going to distribute that. It looks like they'll just mail it out to everybody that does qualify for that. Looks like they have 160 million that Santa Ana was given to them by the federal government, and they're taking that money and actually doing something with it. Every city, every state, they all receive some type of stimulus payment money, and they're trying to turn around and pay that out. Now, I think a lot of these cities and states are just getting greedy, and they're not sending out the stimulus payments. But it looks like at least Santa Ana is going to be sending out checks or prepaid debit cards, prepaid Visa cards to people in that city that live there. So $200 from this state right here. You know, every state is sending out stimulus checks. You have California sending out $1,100 checks. It says one state is proposing a $2,000 stimulus check for people earning under $75,000. People in Illinois could be getting the extra cash after the proposal was made by Republicans. The proposal aims to help with rising inflation rates and would send $200 to people making less than $75,000 and $400 for joint filers making less than $150,000. So this could be good for some of the states that are doing that. Definitely for Illinois. California is sending out those $1,100 checks. Other states are sending out checks too. You have Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Michigan. They're all sending out $1,000 checks to teachers in that area. I know Florida is also sending out $1,000 checks to frontline workers. Florida also is incentivizing people that if you are a police officer in a different state and you were forced out because of the mandate, you can come to Florida and receive up to $5,000 for coming to the state and becoming a police officer in the state of Florida, which is good news. Also, you have Arizona, Connecticut, and Kentucky. They're all sending out checks. If you go back to work, they're incentivizing people to get back to work, and they will. I think Arizona gives you a $2,000 check. Then you have Connecticut and Kentucky. They're going to be giving you $1,000 checks to go back to work. I like that program. I like them to incentivize people to get back to work. It seems to be a better program than actually just handing out checks. But maybe the federal government will come in and do that. That would be a way better program to incentivize people to go back to work, since there are 11 million jobs available out there right now. Hey, so if you have any questions, you can drop those questions in the comments below. I'll be able to answer those for you on this video. Again, stay tuned in these videos because I'm always going to keep you updated on what's happening with the stimulus, on the new House bill, when that'll get passed, when that'll go to President Biden's desk so he can sign it into law. So stay tuned in these videos. I'll keep you updated on all the information.